A sluggish start for the vaccine rollout in Missouri leads officials to take steps to increase transparency and stock up on more doses.
Federal, state, and local vaccination data isn't quite lining up. I'm Zach Dodge with what a local health department thinks might be happening. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
State of Missouri has a new dashboard aimed at keeping you up to date on the vaccine situation in the state. This is KOAM News at 6. Governor Parson announced the website's launch today. It provides information as to who is eligible for vaccinations and how many people have been vaccinated so far. You can find a link to that page through this story on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Missouri's vaccine rollout has been slow. In fact, it's been ranked among the slowest in the country. In an effort to reverse that trend, Governor Parson's trying to take unused doses of the vaccine back from pharmacies so they can then be used at mass vaccination sites in the state. The governor's spokesperson says Parson is looking to divert 25,000 doses from CVS and Walgreens, and they plan to ask for more. Officials say the move won't keep pharmacies from finishing their work providing vaccinations at nursing homes, which have been particularly hard hit by the spread of COVID-19. The Nevada, Missouri Regional Medical Center has received its first shipment of COVID-19 vaccines for Phase 1B. People who are registered through a vaccine waiting list will be notified and scheduled for one of 2 upcoming mass vaccination clinics. Officials say those clinics will give more than 500 people their first dose of the Moderna vaccine. Second doses will be given at follow-up clinics 4 weeks after the initial clinics. Again, only those who have registered and are on waiting lists will be notified. Walk-ins are not accepted. Another one of our local health departments now has COVID-19 vaccines. KOAM's Zach Dodge has details on why they think there are discrepancies between federal, state, and local vaccination data.
Coronavirus vaccines have finally arrived at the Newton County Health Department, and the phone's already ringing off the hook.
Ringing like 3 times all day, and then
the department received 200 doses of vaccine, which will be used for people in Phase 1A, people in nursing homes, and first responders.
We heard early on that we would have vaccine by middle to late December, and then we heard by mid-January. So we're thankful that now we do have it.
This comes a day after CDC data had the state ranked in last place as far as percentage of overall population that have been given their first dose. But there are some discrepancies in the numbers at every level. For example, the CDC says there's been 340,000 doses given in the state, but the state says there's been more than 374,000. And there's discrepancies between the state and local levels as well. In McDonald County, for example, the state says there's been 737 doses given, but the county is reporting more than 1,000.
At the local level, we enter data right here, right now, and then that data has to be relayed back to the state, and then the state relays it back to the federal. Some of that data may be delayed.
Now, both the state and federal sites have disclaimers saying that the numbers may not line up, but they're in fine print. So at least for now, Bergner recommends paying the most attention to the local numbers.
I think as a resident, there might be some anxiety because of lack of communication. Transparency would be nice so that all residents will know why there's a lag and why we might be behind and why some of the vaccine orders are not getting filled.
Now that they have vaccines, he wants residents to be confident that they're going to get them into arms as quickly as possible. In Newton County, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Bergner tells us once they receive enough doses to administer them to all eligible residents, they plan to hold drive-through vaccine clinics, but they're going to be by appointment. We're going to have more information on how to sign up on our website later this evening. Also, a little bit later, we're going to hear what Kansas lawmakers are hearing about data discrepancies. State of Oklahoma is trying to give some meds back. The state's AG is trying to return $2 million worth of the anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine. Oklahoma acquired 1.2 million pills in April from California-based FFF Enterprises. Company spokeswoman did not immediately return a message seeking comment. The drug has since been shown to have little or no effect on severe cases of COVID-19. A former state health official chalked up Oklahoma's purchase to the fog of war. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly has reissued and signed executive orders addressing COVID-19 response. One allows Kansas employers to continue withholding taxes based on the state of the employer's primary work location, not where the employee is doing telework. Others allow deferred tax deadlines and prohibit some foreclosures and evictions. Checking in with Doug Heddy now for a first look on the weather, as we have a bit of snow on the ground still.
We do, and a very cold day for us today after we had the light snow across the region during the overnight hours last night. Only 31 for a high, so it was cold. We dropped back to about 27. We still have the clouds across the region, but any snow is long gone, and these clouds will slowly start to break up a little bit later on tonight. In fact, you can see the snow rotating across eastern Missouri, Illinois, and then also Indiana. But temperatures, most of us 28 to about 30, and we're going to eventually drop all the way down into the lower 20s later on tonight. We also have a north wind kind of ushering in that cooler air at about 5 to 10, and we'll drop back through the 20s throughout the evening hours. Most of us 19, 20 degrees for an overnight low. We are going to warm back up. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Doug. A bill before the Missouri Senate today would allow for more regulation of the tobacco and vaping industry. The bill would raise Missouri's legal age to purchase those products to 21, which is already the federal limit. It would also regulate vaping like tobacco, require a vendor registration, increase fines, and allow for local enforcement. Jenny Chadwick, an advocate for Tobacco 21, supports the bill in full. Opponents say it would contradict previous Missouri legislation differentiating the two. Lawmakers proposed similar legislation last year in the COVID-shortened session. A man is dead after a crash involving a semi in Mays County, Oklahoma. Happened last night on US 69 and West 435 Road, about a mile and a half south of Adair. Authorities say a car driven by 57-year-old Mickey Hamilton failed to yield at a stop sign and was hit by a semi in the intersection. Hamilton was pronounced dead at the hospital. His 74-year-old passenger was last reported in stable condition with leg and arm injuries. Still ahead, Kansas lawmakers demand answers about a slow start to that state's vaccine rollout, and later Advanced Family Medicine's new four-legged staff member. Kansas Health Secretary is again answering questions and concerns of state lawmakers on the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Some of those lawmakers express continued frustration in what they say is a lack of communication. Reporter Sean Logging was following that meeting and what KDHE said about data reporting discrepancies between the state and federal government.
There is a major disconnect with what you're telling us and what we're hearing back from our counties.
A joint hearing Tuesday of Kansas senators and representatives trying to understand what the situation is with the state's vaccine rollout, and a major issue deals with data.
Help us understand where CDC's wrong and your numbers are accurate.
Dr. Lee Norman says part of the issue is the use of different reporting programs on the state and federal levels to track vaccines distributed and dispensed.
Tiberius is a federal system that the Operation Warp Speed has. It's completely different from WebIZ and from what the CDC uses.
The biggest difference in data reporting is on doses distributed. CDC reporting Tuesday Kansas has received under 350,000 doses and the state reporting about 255,000. A KDHE staffer says that's because the federally managed vaccination program for long-term care facilities is being tracked by the feds, but not in the state system.
Direct shipment to long-term care that we don't ever really process or have our hands on within the state.
The KDHE secretary says when more vaccines become available in the state, it won't just be local health departments giving doses, but other medical providers along with community and national chain pharmacies.
We're hoping to get a maximum uptake by those pharmacies because most of them want to be administrating.
But some state lawmakers say more needs to be done to make the vaccination effort successful in Kansas.
State government, federal government, and then local government. What we didn't expect was the lack of communication between those entities and then the other entities in which the vaccines were being delivered to.
Dr. Norman says phase 2 will be the largest for the state, between 700 and 800,000 people. He also says a map showing the places where people can get vaccinated is also supposed to be ready in the coming days, although state officials said that was supposed to be ready last week. Doug Heddy is up next with his complete forecast. And later, NEO announces how it'll use a $15,000 grant for its music program.
Trading.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a kind of crummy day for us today. We had the light snow last night, a little bit lighter on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, where about a half an inch of snow fell. Heavier on the Missouri and Arkansas side, where most of us picked up an inch, even some areas an inch and a half. Officially, 1 inch of snow in Joplin. That puts us at 6 for the season. We've also had about a half an inch of ice. But temperatures, they've been cold. We sat mainly into the mid-30s yesterday. We dropped back into the upper 20s last night. And then we just didn't go anywhere today. High temp of only 31 degrees during the afternoon. It's still cold. It's 30 in Yates Center, 28 in Iola, Oswego at 30, Miami 32, Welch 32, Carthage sitting at 30, Nevada a little bit cooler at 28 degrees. Through the evening hours, we're going to continue to slide back through the 20s, and eventually later on tonight, we'll bottom out 19 or 20 degrees, so it's going to be cold. Look at the bands of snow we had early this morning. Most of it was gone by about 8 o'clock, 7 to 8 o'clock, and then just the clouds all day long, a few random little flurries. But we still are socked in with the clouds across the region, and it looks like that's going to be the case for us tonight. This whole storm system are rolling off toward the east, so away from us. And then if we look out to the west, here's our next storm system building. Really from the Pacific Northwest, stretching south all the way down into parts of California. Now, ahead of this system, we get a nice little ridge of high pressure, which is going to roll in, and that's going to give us pretty good weather as we work into Thursday, also on Friday. For us tonight, cold. The clouds will start to break up a little bit late tonight. Most of us are going to drop back near 20 for an overnight low. So a cold start, and then we'll warm through the 20s, 30s. We're going to be quite a bit warmer tomorrow. 41 by noon. We'll have south winds at about 5 to 10. Then a high temp all the way up to 47. So Thursday is looking pretty good. So any snow that we wake up with in the morning that is still on the ground will be gone by tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, cold again. We'll drop back near freezing. And then as we work into Friday, a pretty good day. We'll have partly sunny skies, but temperatures should go into the mid-50s during the afternoon hours. But look at the clouds starting to increase as we work into Friday night. Here comes the rain after midnight Friday night. Could pick up some heavy amounts of rain into Saturday morning. And then as we work through the day on Saturday, we'll just have light showers that will slowly start to taper off by Saturday afternoon. But good chances for rain. We could pick up a half an inch, upwards to an inch of rain with this next storm system. As we move into Sunday and Monday, kind of cool. You can see Tuesday and Wednesday, we do warm back up, but we have a storm system Wednesday and Thursday. So this could be rain next Wednesday and possibly over to snow by Thursday. Super Bowl weekend is going to be fairly mild, but we have rain chances on Super Bowl Sunday into Monday, and then we cool back down. We have a storm system the 10th and 11th, and then again on the 13th that could give us some snow chances across the region. 47 tomorrow, 56 Friday, rain Saturday, cooling down a little bit Sunday and Monday. But really, temperatures all in all, pretty good.
Yeah, so that snow out there now will be replaced by puddles very soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, NEO A&M will be able to keep the music going through the pandemic thanks to a $15,000 grant. And we meet Advanced Family Medicine's newest four-legged staff member in Joplin. NEO A&M receives $15,000 to support arts programs on campus affected by the pandemic. The school will buy new gear such as cameras, projectors, and live streaming equipment. One notable purchase will be a sound system. Connor Rice, a music education student at the college, says this purchase will help all music students at NEO.
And one of the main ways that it will help us in band, I'm speaking from a band perspective, is Brass, you can hear brass on a field pretty good. Trumpets, stuff like that. But the woodwinds, saxophones, clarinets, you can't really hear them.
The grant will help showcase students who otherwise would not have the chance to shine. It's Walter Wednesday. Who is Walter? Well, that's Walter. He's a French bulldog currently employed at Advanced Family Medicine and Wellness Center in Joplin. He was brought in because, well, look at it. The clinic says he'll bring those cute looks to help check in on customers and serve as a sort of mascot for the center.
Walter makes every day better. He makes everybody's day better. It doesn't matter if it's 7 a.m. in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. He's there to help.
Every Wednesday is officially Walter Wednesday on the Advanced Family Medicine and Wellness Center's Facebook page. So swing by there to get your fix. Keep up with Walter. Here's some more cuteness, this time out of St. Louis, where a group of penguins enjoyed a walk around the zoo in snow. King penguins Ethel and Elliot, along with Gentoo penguins CJ, Oshi, Linus, Sunny, Double, and Trouble, all took a quick field trip in the snow. King and Gentoo penguins are native to the Antarctic region. They even visited their neighbors at the zoo, polar bear Collie and grizzly bears Huck and Finley. The penguins were able to get up close to see the polar and grizzly bears with the help of the zoo's bird and carnivore animal care teams. So they were chaperoned. The penguins willingly approached the zoo set. A final check on the weather is up next.
Today.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Matt Rush. The Pittsburgh native served in the U.S. Army, where he worked in corrections at Guantanamo Bay and Fort Leavenworth. And we are proud to salute Matt Rush. He's tonight's four-state hero. Get your Super Bowl wings order in now. That's because Americans are expected to eat a staggering 1.4 billion chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday. That's enough wings to circle the earth 3 times, which would be a total waste of chicken wings. The National Chicken Council's wing report says it's up 2% from last year. It says the uptick is because of the pandemic. Wings are a great comfort food and they hold up for deliveries. The council also says 72% of Americans like French fries with their wings. Only 14% prefer celery. Of course, why would you want celery? The battle between the NFL's 2 greatest quarterbacks will take place here on Channel 7 on February 7th as your Kansas City Chiefs take on those Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Pre-game coverage, it'll start at 2 p.m. on CBS and its streaming service, CBS All Access. Kickoff is at 5:30 Central Time. Doug Hetty, who needs no reminders that a Super Bowl is coming up, joins us with a final look at the weather.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this. I wish we didn't have to wait almost 2 weeks, but hey, at least the weather looks pretty good over the next couple days. Cold night tonight, down near 20. We'll melt any leftover snow off for us tomorrow, 47. 56 by Friday, so a big turnaround, and rain right back in Friday night and Saturday.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, reminder to stay up to date on the latest news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. Free of charge. Apple App Store, Google Play Store. Again, KOAM News app. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
If you